The next thing is know how to register yourself. And there are 2 ways that you can actually register online in my portal, and I'll show you both of those in just a second. One is very recommended, and that is through the My Course Needs portlet. The other one is only if you have done some planning on the front end do I recommend that you use it, and that's through the course offerings. So I'm going to switch over to my portal and I'm going to log in. I'm going to show you exactly some of the things that I've been talking about. In this case, I'm logging in as a student. And notice when I log in, it already has customized itself to me. It's brought in my name, although I'm not Philip. This is my husband, by the way. And it's also brought in on this side for current class offerings. At the very bottom, it's brought in my schedule. And right now, I'm only in a lab class for this semester. I'm taking it pretty light. I'm lazy. So it customizes to me. Notice also I can immediately see which holds are on my account. Right. Right here are my holds, okay? So I know that if either one of these holds could keep me from registering online, I need to make sure I go and take care of those immediately, or the system will not let me register when I want to, okay? This box, the current class offerings, will allow you to add and drop classes during the registration period. My warning to you is there is no way for you to know when you search here whether or not a class qualifies for your major. You can search. There are tons of filter options. You can look for just Monday, Wednesday, Friday classes. You can look for Tuesday, Thursday. This is okay to plan by. But once you get into here, there's no way to know whether drawing 1, drawing 2, painting 1, whether any of those actually count towards my major. So there's some real danger here that if you go through just this window, that you could register for classes that will end up being in addition to what you actually need to graduate, okay? So there's a danger there. So this is the less recommended way unless you have already had a discussion with your advisor and you have the classes planned out, you have a scratched piece of paper with some alternatives, whatever you want to do. So I'm going to show you the recommended way, and it is actually located on the My Advising tab. And right now I have some information out here just trying to keep you in the know about online registration. There are the dates. Here are some just details about error codes that you could hit. This will probably not be there come October 31st when it's time to register. So, and what I've indicated here is that to get to your advising information, just click on this link. I'm just trying to communicate this to everybody as best I can. All right, now this is typically what you would see when you click on the My Advising tab. And I'm going to scroll down. The second box down is called My Course Needs. This is where, if your major is correct in the system, it will offer you guidance in terms of what classes you need to take in order to graduate. Okay? You can click into the title bar to get into it, or the little click here. The click here actually saves you 1 click, so might as well start there. And what it does is it goes more in depth into my major, and it breaks it out into the ACR, which are the all college requirements that I need, the major requirements that I need, and then for those of you that are freshmen and sophomores who came in under our servant leadership minors, you would also see a minor there for you. So at this time, I just want to focus on my ACR classes. I'm going to take my Gen Ed, my all college requirements. I'm going to look in there, see which classes I'm missing. It breaks it up into 2 pieces. The top portion are the individual classes that I have to have. The bottom portion are categories that I have to have. And in the categories, there are probably choices that I can take for those categories in order to meet them. For example, I'm ready to tackle my mathematics requirement. So I click into math, and it lists for me all of the classes that I could take to meet this requirement. Now in general, you want to stay within the top of this list. So the next class that I would probably be tempted to take would be the Math 132 Essentials of Statistics. I sure do not want to go into calculus unless I have to, or any of these 300 level maths. No way. So you probably want to stay within the 100, 200 levels there for just your gen ed. So at this time I'm going to look at seat available courses. One thing I want to caution you about is make sure that your term is correct here in this little drop down box. Okay? We will have it default to spring, but then just remember that you can also register for the December mini during this time and also summer courses. So now that I've pulled up the Math 132, I'm in the spring. Now I can see the faculty members that are offering classes. I can see how many seats are open in those classes. I can see the days and times and where those classes are located. So I have everything that I need to make a decision about which one of those classes I want to attempt in the spring, sorry. So in this case, I'm not a very early morning person, so I'm just going to maybe pick the 10 a.m. one. And all I have to do is click the box that says Add. And then down at the very bottom, there's an Add Courses button, which is kind of like a Submit button. So I click Submit. And then I look and I have, under Messages, M132B successfully added with warnings, because I do have some holds on my account. Luckily, those holds have not kept me from registering, but they are holds that could keep me from checking in appropriately or from viewing some other information somewhere else, like my unofficial transcript. Okay? So then I scroll down and I see the first level here is your schedule registered. Okay? Now that will be where my classes will show up once my advisor approves them. The bottom section says, awaiting advisor approval. This course is sitting there ready for my advisor to approve for me. I can change my mind, and I could click the drop and then cancel it if I so choose. But in this case, I'm satisfied with my Math 132 selection. Now that class, I have reserved a spot. No one else can take that spot from me for that class, as long as my advisor approves it within 2 weeks. Okay? So now I'm ready to go register for something else. So I'm going to go back into my ACR, and this is where I'm discussing the breadcrumbs. So I have this little line right here. And that has shown every screen that I've hit all the way along. So this is the results. This is where I went into my math. Now I'm going to go back to the ACR section. It's going to list my ACR requirements again for me. And this time I'm ready to tackle a comp. And I'm going to try, let's try E102. And let's try maybe the 9 a.m. if it's right before my math. So I'm going to click Add, and my Add Courses. And notice here is the difference when I'm going to get an error. There is a red X that says Courses Not Yet Registered. We were unable to register you for one or more of the courses you attempted to add. And the course that I could not add was E102B. And then the error says a prerequisite for this course has not been met. So I evidently have not passed Comp 1, or I'm not currently in Comp 1, so the system will not let me register for it. Notice I have no other options here other than I can do a course search through this little blue link within the paragraph, or I can click OK. But that's my only option. There's no way out of that. Okay? If you feel that this prerequisite error is incorrect, that is when you need to contact the registrar's office, either through a phone call, an email. Just remember that they're only in the office from 8:30 to 5, and they'll take care of it as quickly as they can. But hopefully those will be very few and far between. So I'm going to click OK. I acknowledge that. I understand I can't add that class. So I'm going to go back to my ACR again. This is the recommended procedure because there's little opportunity for you to choose a class that's gonna be junk for you. How frustrating will it be for you to get to your senior year and realize you spent 6, 12, 15 hours taking classes that you didn't really need, and you're not gonna finish like you had hoped, okay? So this is the best option. Maybe I'm gonna give up on my comp right now. I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna try maybe a lab science instead. So I'll go all the way down to the lab science. It's going to list for me, since it's a category, I have options of what I can take. So here are all of my options that I can take. In this case, I'm just going to start at the top. I don't want to try to do too much. Fundamentals of biology is an entry level, not for majors. So I'm going to see what's available in the spring. And there's one section of it taught by Miss Young, Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 10 o'clock. Well, if I want to take it, that's the only one that I've got, okay? At any time, I want to show you that you can click into a course, this course link right here, and it actually will give you more information about the class. And notice here, there's a note, requires a lab section. You have to add a lab too. If not, they will add a lab for you, maybe at a time you don't really want it. So it just gives you more information about it. You can add the course from this screen, and you always want to use this back button over here in the corner to go back to the previous screen. In this case, all right, I'm ready. I want to add that one. So I add courses. Uh-oh, I have a red X again. What's my problem this time? I look in the error column or the error row, and it says time conflict with Math 132B. So now I have a decision to make, and it does give me some options here. I have the option to swap the two classes. Right now I'm registered for math. I could swap and be registered for biology instead and take math off. Or I could say, forget that class, don't add it. Well, in this case, there's only one section of biology, so I'm gonna take it and then choose another math. So I'm gonna say swap. All right, and then it gives me exactly what it did for me. Math 132B successfully dropped. B101A successfully added. Okay, and then if I scroll down to the bottom where I'm awaiting approval, now it's biology that's awaiting approval, not the math. Okay. Now I want to show you another feature here. Since I know I want to take the math, I know specifically it's Math 132 that I want to take, I could use this course search feature right here. And I could say I want to search only the classes that are in the math group. It's going to give me the ones, all the math. I'm specifically interested in the Math 132. So I know 10 o'clock's reserved for biology. There's an 8, 11, and a 2. So I'm not going early. So I choose another section of it. I scroll down to the bottom and click Add. And my message is good, successfully added. And down at the bottom now I have 2 classes awaiting advisor approval. Okay. From that point I could go back to my ACR and choose something else, maybe a speech, or a fine arts, anything else that I might see. I could go back even farther to my total program and see if there's anything within my major that I might want to take. So I can go into the, in this case I'm a sports and fitness management major, so I can click into that major and see what I have remaining. See if I sure don't want to take anatomy and physiology yet, so maybe accounting. I can look there to see if there are any accounting classes open. There's one, it's Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11, and that's just the math class that I added. But you can see how you can plan through your schedule, course by course here. You can do it course by course by course like that. I'm going to click back into My Advising, the tab completely. Okay. Hope you can hear me. I'm pretty loud, but so this is the academic information which verifies my major. This is the box that I was just in, the course needs, and then this is the other box that I can go into to add and drop. This one's called TWC Course Offerings down here. Now again, I warn you, I caution you, do not let this be the first place that you go to try to add classes, because there is no guidance here in terms of will it meet my major, okay? So, but if you know the classes, if you've already discussed with your advisor exactly what you want to take, maybe you've already gone through my course needs several times, and you know exactly what you need to take, and you specifically know I'm ready to take maybe some theater classes or speech or whatever, then you can do it here. You can filter 7 ways to everywhere, just the classes that you want here. Let's see, I want to try to spread my classes out a little bit. Let's try for a Tuesday, Thursday class. See if there's anything on Tuesday, Thursday. If I limit it to just Tuesdays and Thursdays, it will pull only the classes that are offered on those days at all the various times, okay? If I wanted to get more specific, I could even say the specific times. I only want from 8 to 9:30 or 9:30 to 11. 10:50, I guess. It will list everything, and then down at the very bottom you have some guidance in terms of alphabet that will guide you to the next group. There is an introduction to speech class that I know I need, Tuesday, Thursday at 9:30. Sounds about right. So then I add that one as well. So you can add through the other box, but there's nothing there that tells me that it's going to meet my major or a requirement for me. You also have the same features within this course search tab here. I tried to give you an example of each of the different errors that you could experience, the prerequisite error and also the time conflict. There's another error which will show you that the course is full. The big thing is just to be sure that you are aware of what to look for when you have this course list. The open seats, you'll see that number tick down during registration. And if the O under status turns to F, that means it's full and you cannot add it. Okay? If you are trying to get a spot in a class that is full, you will have to contact the instructor. The instructor is the only person that can give you clearance into a class that is full. I do know that I need to have a lab to go along with my biology class. So I want to be sure that I find a lab. I need to take off my Tuesday and Thursday limit here because it could be any day. And I'm going to limit it just to things in the B section for biology. Oh, give me the BA. I don't want to be a business major, that's for sure. No offense. For time's sake. So I'd find the lab and then I would add it. You also have options on the Home tab right here in this current class offerings. That is the exact same box that you see on the My Advising tab, and as you are reserving spots, those classes would show. You can add and drop. Anytime the add drop period is open for your classification, you can go in and change your schedule. Drops from your schedule do not need advisor approval, but any adds will have to go through advisor approval. So they will sit on your schedule as reserved until the advisor approves them, and they have 2 weeks to do so.